Welcome to the Field of Crosses and Valour Canada Service of Remembrance. This video will guide students through a Service of Remembrance and explain the origins of the various aspects of the ceremony. The very first Remembrance Day was observed in 1919, 1 year after the end of the First World War. The First World War ended at 11 o'clock on the 11th day of the 11th month, November the 11th. This is why we pause at this time every year to remember those who have fought and died for our country in all wars. There are a number of elements that exist during the Remembrance Day ceremony, and these normally include, first, opening remarks, followed by the national anthem. There are then often poems and prayers, which lead us to the act of remembrance. Following the act of remembrance is the last post, 2 minutes of silence, the lament, and the rouse. Often then students will give a commitment to remember. We have some laying of wreaths, and then the royal anthem is played. Please let us now join the ceremony occurring at the Field of Crosses in Calgary. Now we will hear the Act of Remembrance. The Act of Remembrance comes from the poem For the Fallen, written by Lawrence Binyon in 1914 during the First World War. The verses immediately before the Act of Remembrance speaks about the soldiers who went to battle and sets the tone for the actual act. These verses are, "They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their...
They shall grow not old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. On all the oceans, white caps flow. There are no crosses row on row, but they who sleep beneath the seas, rest in peace, for our land is free. We will remember them."
We will now hear the last post, followed by 2 minutes of silence. The last post comes from a time when messages to soldiers were passed by the sound of a trumpet. The last post signifies the end of the day, and that all of the posts had been inspected and the camp was secure for the night. All the duties had been done, and it was time to sleep. In the setting of Remembrance Day, The last post signifies that those who have fallen during the war have done their duty and can rest in peace. This is followed by 2 minutes of silence, which allows for people to remember their loved ones or others who have died in times of war. It is a quiet, solemn reflection.
Bugler, last post.
We will now hear the Lament, followed by the Rouse. The Lament is played by a Scottish piper. It signifies the grief of loss for those who have died and are being remembered during this service. The Rouse, like the last post, was traditionally played in the morning to signify that it was time to awaken. It signifies the end of the 2 minutes of silence and that we should awake from our quiet, solemn reflection.
Piper, Lament. Bugler, Rouse.
The final element of today's Remembrance Day service will be the Royal Anthem, God Save the Queen. This was the national anthem of Canada during the First and Second World Wars, and we sing this to remember our historical roots to Great Britain and our loyalty to the Queen of Canada, Queen Elizabeth II.
Once again, we will ask our Cantari Choir alumna, soloist Anna Rude, for our Royal Anthem.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen, God save the Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us, God save the Queen. Thy choicest gifts in store on her be pleased to pour, long may she reign. May she defend her laws and ever give us cause to sing with heart and voice, God save the Queen.
This brings us to the conclusion of the Field of Crosses and Valour Canada Service of Remembrance video. Thank you for attending. If you'd like to learn more about Calgary's Field of Crosses or Valour Canada's military history educational programs, please visit the links in the description of this video.
This signals the end of our ceremony. I now invite participants, spectators, and guests to visit the crosses. Thank you to Calgary Fire Department, East District Chief Gord Best, and Battalion Chief Alistair Robin, as well as our Honor Guard, Flag Party, Piper, Bugler, and our soloists this evening. Also to our media crew at Be Social YYC, and to all of our volunteers and supporters here today. March off the flag party.
Flag party, right turn.
Hurrah! Turn, Billy! Just